It's the early 2000s and you're probably a little kid sitting down in your living room, about to set on a journey. A journey of wild adventures with Barbie playing many characters, showcasing multiple layers of talent. This was how I started with Barbie. The stories got me into it, and the songs had me singing to the rooftops of my house. But it was the messages that kept these quirky movies in my heart, up until this day. Barbie and the Nutcracker is the perfect introduction to the animated universe of Barbie. From the music, to the dancing, to the mediocre but charming animation. This movie does an amazing job at showing what Barbie should represent for the audience, highlighting the importance of courage, friendship, and the enduring magic of believing in yourself, setting the stage for more powerful and encouraging messages to come. Barbie and the Nutcracker follows a story told by Barbie to her little sister when she needed some encouragement practicing her dance routine. Finding the courage to try, as she put it. We follow Clara through a whimsical journey to defeat the Mouse King and save the world. All with the help of courage, of course. The dancing in the movie is phenomenal, because instead of animating just by hand, they use motion capture to achieve a realistic look. Well, apart from the graphics itself, most of the backgrounds are clearly 2D, with not much detail. Yes, I know it was made in 2001, but it could have been better. I won't take away any credit though. In fact, I'll give them props considering they somehow animated the entire movie in just 4 months. And besides, this led to the mediocre graphics, charming but oh so unique art style the Barbie movies are known for. And I love this art style. It feels like what imagination would look like. They aren't scared to put bright and vibrant colors or to make terribly ugly characters. I mean, I couldn't imagine a Barbie movie with top-tier Disney-like animation. It would just feel uncanny. Barbie's Starlight Adventure has the best graphics, I'm pretty sure, of every Barbie movie. But it still has that Barbie feel. It's kind of unexplainable. I don't know. Back to the topic. So this movie follows a girl, Clara. She lives with her grandfather and her annoying little brother, Tommy. It's Christmas Eve and their aunt visits them with gifts. Now, I'm not quite sure how old Clara is supposed to be, but I'm guessing she's probably 16 or higher considering her aunt just said she grew about a head taller since they last met. And girls generally stop growing at around 15 to 16 years old. But out of every gift you could give a teenage girl, you give her a nutcracker? I don't know, that's just a bit odd. But I guess we'll have to find out its significance.
Then I'll use him to command my army. Hey!
Oh my god, bro.
Someone get this brat off my screen. The worst part is he didn't even apologize for breaking something she just got. All he could do was stare in embarrassment like a monstrous nightmare. Anyways, the story kicks off with a little magic and poof, mouse soldiers and the Nutcracker comes to life. It seems some lore has already been established. It makes little sense, but whatever. It's supposed to be magical anyways. Clara wakes up to this battle going on between the mice and the Nutcracker. And boy oh boy, the pacing of this fight is so bad. Like, why are they staring at one another for 3 seconds as they fight? I mean, it could have been better with the little dialogue or something at least. Rather than just... The Mouse King solos the Nutcracker. Clara tries to help, but she gets shrunk into doll size by the Mouse King. They fight for a little bit more before this bum Mouse King gets knocked out by a shoe. A shoe! A shoe! Anyways, the owl tells them how to turn Clara back to her normal size. And boom, time for the epic, amazing, cool journey. Can't wait to go on some wild adventures, and then the next scene is 5 minutes. 5 minutes of fairies flying around dancing. To be honest, this movie was very much a fever dream for me. And it was mainly because of these scenes where the pacing comes to a halt. And they just do nothing for like a couple minutes. So now they start looking for the Sugar Plum Princess, who apparently is the person who can solve all their problems and defeat the Mouse King. But spoiler alert, the Sugar Plum Princess was the friends we made along the way. Yay. Look, I get it. Barbie movies often have that trope, but that's the whole point. And it works. No need to confuse the little brains of children with complicated plots. Just kidding. Fast forward a little bit on their journey, they meet these two kids at a town. Now, if there's one thing for sure about these classic Barbie movies, it's that the kids look absolutely uncanny. I get they're supposed to be dolls, but they kinda scared me a little bit as a kid myself. I mean, look at them. From this point, it's almost clear that the Nutcracker is in fact Prince Eric, considering every time Prince Eric is mentioned, he gives this look. After running away from the mouse soldiers, they're saved by these other citizens of that town. And this is where we meet these two characters, Major Mint and Captain Candy. Captain Candy is definitely my favorite character in this movie. He's just the GOAT. I mean, even though everyone disliked the prince, he still held hope for his friend. And let's not even get started with this murder attempt from Major Mint. Captain Candy didn't even seem that majorly offended that he was almost offed by this guy. Now, if there's one thing for certain about Barbie movies, it's that the villain needs to have a glazer. And this bat is probably top 5 glazers in Barbie history. So the Mouse King makes a rock golem looking monster called Rock. This just proves that Barbie villains just like have no style whatsoever. Cause this thing is ugly. Like there's no way that's the best thing he could have made. I mean, look at it. So we get a chase scene of the rock giant trying to catch the Nutcracker. This scene truly surprised me with how well done it was. You could truly feel the fear of being chased even though we know how it's going to end. After all, it is a Barbie movie. It is going to have a good ending. So the rock giant gets completely outplayed and they make it to the Sugar Plum Princess Island. Okay, even as a kid, I could tell that this was literally a cardboard cutout castle. But yet they completely fall blunder to the tricks of the bat. I'll give it to him though, he put enough effort to add an interior. That's dedication. So Clara almost gives up until those fairies from earlier carry her to the castle.
They're right. It's time we stood up to the mouse.
Okay, I love your enthusiasm to gain your freedom, but literally what are you going to do against the Mouse King, who literally has powers? Like, this is what happens. You all get petrified. Turn to stone. Like, good job, I guess.
Every last villager, fairy, and general troublemaker rounded up to witness this display of my absolute power.
Absolute power? Absolute... Isn't this the same guy that got knocked out by a shoe? So in the final battle arc, the Mouse King amps himself, so defeating the Nutcracker was pretty easy. He casts a spell to shrink Clara some more, but it gets reflected back to him, and that's how he's defeated. Clara kisses the prince, and that somehow miraculous ladybugs the entire world, and she gets the magical Barbie transformation that's so iconic. Oh, and did you forget? Barbie was the Sugar Plum Princess all along. Wow, who didn't see that coming? Definitely not me. Definitely not everyone. But anyways, they dance for the next 5 minutes. And look, this is why I put the British Bat as the top 5 glazers. In fact, I think I'll put him up to top 3 at this point. Cause tell me why he still decides to take orders from this powerless mouse. Like, I'm sure even he could defeat the Mouse King in that state. But no, he still submits to him. But I guess they're pretty alike considering he gets knocked out by a snowball. Which is far significantly worse than the shoe. So the Mouse King opens the necklace, sending Clara back home. She starts blabbering about the experience she just had to her grandfather, but what he says is pretty savage.
What's all this foolishness? Perhaps I should send for a doctor.
Now, this is where most people in the world would have thought that the movie would have a bad ending. But no, this is a Barbie movie, and we always have good endings. So her aunt brings home the son of her friend, who is Prince Eric, and they dance and I guess live happily ever after. The end. The moral of the story is if Clara wasn't brave enough to keep going, she never would have found out that she was the Sugar Plum Princess. Showing true courage can lead us to do things we didn't really think we could. This is why Nutcracker is the perfect introduction movie, because this theme sets up in many Barbie movies to come. So it gives kids and both parents too an idea of what Barbie movies will be all about. Barbie movies were set apart from other animated movies at their time. While not having the best looking animation in the industry, they never failed to share amazing messages to kids of all ages. Barbie is a big reason I never give up on my dreams, even if everyone is discouraging. After witnessing Clara's journey in the Nutcracker, where she overcomes obstacles with grace and courage, one must wonder, in our lives, how often do we underestimate the power of our dreams and the strength within ourselves to bring them to reality? What transformative journeys could we embark on if we, like Clara, dared to believe in the seemingly impossible? The pacing for this movie was one of the only issues I had with it, as it can be kind of boring at some points. The cinematography is alright for the only 4 months they had to produce the movie. I might personally have a problem with it, but it does the job, so I won't take away any credit. Now let's talk about the characters. The Mouse King was an alright villain, I guess. He didn't really have an important motive, which I think is very important when writing a villain character. He just kinda wanted to rule the world, which is one of the cheapest writing tropes I've seen till date. His powers are kinda cool, and I like the spellcasting aspect of it. He makes witty jokes, which I enjoy enough to not dislike him, but as for Barbie villains, he's definitely going into the lower tier. I'll give him credit for at least staying true to his character even until the very end. The two little kids were adorable in their own right. Not their character design per se, but rather how they acted. I love how it was the little kids that started the revolution among the people. Even though it didn't lead anywhere, it was still nice. Major Mint and Captain Candy honestly almost carried this movie. The energy they gave off and their one-liners were really funny. I liked their dynamic except for the part where Major Mint tried to murder Captain Candy. And their dance scene at the end was most definitely my favorite part of the movie. I mean, it's just look at it. Prince Eric was definitely a great character. I mean, I loved his dynamic and his contrast between his side of the Nutcracker versus his side of being Prince, and how he hid his identity from everyone because they seemingly hated him, even though it wasn't his fault. His relationship with Clara was well defined and had enough time to simmer. I like how it didn't feel rushed at all, and I love how many moments they had together. For that reason, I'll let the looking for something the whole movie but then realizing it was right in front of you the whole time trope slide. As for Clara, well, I think I've said enough about her at this point. She could have gone home at any time she wanted, but she chose to stay and help her friends. It was her courage that was able to set them free. She was also really clever considering she was the only one that was able to decode the Nutcracker being King Eric. I'm glad she got a happy ending because she was definitely deserving of it. Pointers for her shoe toss. At the end of it all, I'm glad I was able to experience this growing up. It definitely inspired my views on achieving my dreams. This channel is one of those dreams. And I thank you all for being a part of this channel. If you're new, please go ahead and subscribe. I'll be doing more videos like this from now on. With that being said, I'll rate Barbie and the Nutcracker a 6 out of 10. While being the perfect introduction to the Barbie movie universe, it's not that great of a movie standing alone. If you don't agree with my rating or have any other concerns, please leave a comment down below on what you think. I would love to know. I'll be doing these videos in the chronological order of the release dates, so Barbie as Rapunzel will be the next one. I'm also doing a tournament for all the Barbie songs, so please don't forget to vote in the community tab of my channel. If you don't subscribe, leave a comment, or like, I'll give you a choice.
Dismemberment or barbecue?
That was a joke. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other videos, and see you again.